Hey everyone, your designers are here.
I'm Anita at Cedar Hill Farmhouse.
And I'm Yvonne at Stone Gable.
And I'm Kelly at My Soulful Home. And we've got tips and tricks and decorating advice for you today. So let's get started.
Today is episode 165, Ways to Make a Statement in a Room. Hey, just walk in the room. Just walk in the room. You're a statement as it is, right?
I'm here.
Yeah, exactly. Hello.
Okay, so besides just all of you fabulous people walking to the room,
that's right.
You might want to add a little piece of furniture here and there.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think? How do you make a statement in a room?
Well, you know, here's what, when I was like researching this and thinking about things, I think it should be like this. I think anything in a room can be a statement.
Mm-hmm.
And a statement piece is something that sticks out and has that wow factor.
Right.
Or it could be a little wonky, or it could be extra beautiful or opulent, or it just has that like stop you in your tracks for a second. In a good way. Mm-hmm. And it could be from the ceiling to the walls, to the floor, to the furniture. But I think it's how do you make a statement piece work with everything else in your room? Drop the mic. Well, let's talk about, do you agree with that? Can't anything, like a coffer ceiling can be a statement.
Well, I think you can
inlaid
have
gorgeous floors can be a statement.
Right. I think you can have a statement piece or a statement part of the room, but also I think of the way a room can make a statement is just the way it's pulled together. I mean, some rooms, the whole thing is a wow.
Yeah, that's pretty subtle. Yes. That's
Yeah. So I think it can, but often it is a statement piece. But other ways to do it are to, maybe do something with the entire room, like have one particular color throughout the room. Or maybe, like we were talking about the color, maybe the way you're making a statement is to just see, if it's a neutral room, is to have just a few pops of color, and that's where your eye is going to be drawn.
Yeah, good point. I mean, there are different ways. When you say statement, somebody might think it's sort of like when one thing is sort of metaphorically yelling at you, like, look at me,
yes,
I'm the statement.
That's
or
what we
it
think
could
of.
be just this really overall fabulous way that the room has been put together. And that can work with tone on tone. It can be really sort of very mellow, but just have this whole thing going on, which, I would venture to say is a bit harder to do. But
texture, baby.
Yeah. But, to create an
texture's
entire
the key to
room
that.
that just says, come on in and, be fabulous with me in here. That's kind of hard to do, but I think that's a good goal. That's a good decorating goal, right?
Yeah. And
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say,
Anita.
what I like to do is to have what I call a wow piece in each room. And so that's one of the ways I like to make a statement in each room, is just have one really unique piece that's not something you see every day. That's something, you look at and go, wow, that's really unique. I've never seen that before. That's what I like to do in each room.
Anita, I would venture to say that most home decor enthusiasts, that's the way they go. You can have a, beautiful, like I said, coffer ceilings. I happen to love coffer ceilings. And
Beautiful.
that can be such a wow factor. That can make the statement to the room. But most of us can't afford to have somebody come in and put in a true coffer ceiling.
Hey, Yvonne, let me stop you here. Just in case somebody doesn't know what a coffer ceiling is, maybe you could just flesh that out a little bit.
Absolutely. A coffer ceiling is just like a ceiling that has beautiful, thick molding that are basically is a grid. They're just these beautiful squares all over the ceiling.
It's a beautiful look for a
real
ceiling.
heavy molding. And it is, and sometimes it's lit. You can't see it. It's lit from just under the molding between the ceiling and the molding. There's a little bit of lighting in there that's really subtle and beautiful. And it's just an amazing, I've always wanted a coffer ceiling, never had one. And it's something that sticks with me. But
They
most
are
people
so
can't
beautiful.
afford that. Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Or you can't afford that, $20,000 Oriental rug or inlaying a wall or something. So most people make a statement by finding a beautiful piece of furniture, or in a bedroom, maybe a bedspread that's just absolutely gorgeous. It doesn't have to be expensive, but that makes a statement. And if you look around your own house, I bet that's true, Anita. I bet that most people do that.
I very much agree with that. Another thing I've found with making a statement, another thing you can do, and maybe it's not a super unique item, but is to have some repetition in the room. And so maybe it's the same, maybe it's a gorgeous arched mirror that looks like a window and you have 2 or 3 of them in the room. I think that's another way to make a statement. Or one of the things I did in one of our bedrooms is to put 3 twin beds. So I have the same bedding on each bed. I have
excellent point. Because anybody that looks at, and we'll link to one of Anita's posts with those beds in the show notes, because it's just like, it almost catches your breath. You think, but you know what? It's just 3 beds.
Right. I know.
It's not like something from the Sistine Chapel.
Tell everyone.
But
it's pleasing because it's repeating.
Yes, exactly. And it's unusual. And of course you put it together so beautifully and the whole thing is fabulous. But, it's not just like 3, beds chucked in a room. Right. But the fact is, it's 3 little twin beds, right? But the fact, I love that I never really thought about it, making a statement with repetition.
Here's another example. I just saw a commercial for Fixer Upper, and I don't know if it's Chip or Joanna. They were hanging 3 broken off, like the handles of a cello were broken off. They were sort of the bases of the cello. There were 3 hanging up on a wall. That's it. And they were old. And I thought, what a beautiful, that's what I said. What a beautiful statement.
Yes.
And the lines of the cellos are so attractive. And just 3 of them, they look so amazing. Or even folding chairs. Have you ever seen somebody put folding chairs in different color along a wall? I've seen that done, and I love that look. And it's so inexpensive. You'd have to put it in the right room, like a family room or a game room or something.
I've seen chairs hung on the wall too. It's been really beautiful. And I want to add to what you were saying, another way you can make something special is to do something in a way to frame it. So you were talking about the violin handles. Maybe it's mounting that on a board or putting an old frame around it. And that's another thing I did with that room we were talking about with the 3 beds. I had at one point little dresses hung up above each bed, but they were floating on the wall.
I love that.
Well, it looked kind of weird. And so,
I know what you did, but I love that.
Right.
Look.
So I bought these 3 arched frames, or it's not really a frame. I think it was a card holder.
I thought they were like a little piece of a fence. That's what they look like.
Well, they look kind of like a fence, but they're arched, and I put those over each bed and then hung the dresses on them. Suddenly the dresses had a presence because they had basically a frame around them.
Right. Anything framed really stands out because you're showcasing it. So people naturally will look to that and say, oh, you've elevated it with the frame.
That's true, Kelly.
Like rifting off the frame thing, I think you can also make a statement by doing something sort of normal, like the beds. You would have a bed in a bedroom, but just shake it up, put it in a different place, hang it in a different way. So what I've done in my living room, which has worked twofold, because I really like the way it makes a bit of a statement, and it also gives me a little bit of privacy. Our house is pretty close to the next door neighbor. I think like Anita's house is in the Heights, and I like to have my shades up all the time. So I had these 2 beautiful paintings, and they're framed, and I was going to put them on the walls, but suddenly I was like, wait a minute, what if I hang them from the window latch?
Oh, good idea.
That is such a good idea.
I hung them with some twine, so I can still have my Smith & Noble blinds high up, and then I just have the drapes on the side, for decorative purposes. They don't ever close. So I'm still getting the light from way above, but in the bottom sash, there's an 8x10 plus frame hanging from the latch on each one. It was just so easy. And if I don't like it, I didn't even make a hole in the wall.
I've got to go back and look at your pictures because I don't remember seeing that.
I don't think I have a picture of that yet.
Oh, okay. Well, get it up there because I can't wait to see how it looks.
Yeah, I like it.
That
It's
should
really
be a
easy.
podcasting rule. If you talk about it, there has to be a picture of it on your blog.
Yeah, you have 30 days to get it on.
30 days.
30 days.
Right.
Well, here,
I like that.
I think that every room can benefit by having a statement made in it in different ways. Like if you come into my house, I think the biggest statement piece or the most iconic statement piece of Stone Gable is my curlicue chest.
It's gorgeous. Yes. And that's right. When I see it, I know it's your house. When I see it on Pinterest.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you a little bit about that. I found it at a local interior design shop. Lancaster City has wonderful design shops. And, I just go to browse because usually the things in it I can't afford. So I went in with my mother and I saw this. And, it just was like the sunbeams came down on it and the skies parted. And exactly.
Were the angels singing?
The angels said,
I could just like hear the fluttering of their wings. And, if I was a piece of furniture, I'd be that curlicue chest because it includes pearls and everything. But anyway, I just adored it. I mean, it was just like a 3-door chest. Maybe it's.
Was it expensive?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it was. Well, let me just finish. It was so expensive.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it had this gorgeous designing. So I thought, I can't afford it. I'll make it. And I'm pretty good at thinking I can make anything.
Mm-hmm. We think we can.
I always think I can. How hard can it be? That's like my line.
Right. And then I think that's me
I know I'm going to be in trouble. So Bob and I drove like an hour away to get a chest I found on eBay that was about the same size. And I ordered like the linen material that I thought was like put all over it. It was covered with something like a linen, like a loose leaf linen, like a raw linen. And then it was distressed and painted. And then the front of it has this gorgeous white dots and these beautiful curly configurations. I'll put it in the show notes. And so, just before I started this project, I have a designer friend. She came over to help me decide what I was going to do with my 3 arched windows and how I was going to do curtains, because I just was having a little issue with that. It's really good to get a second opinion. True. If you're, fighting that. And I said, you've got to see this chest that I found that I just am dying to have. I had taken like 50 pictures on my phone of it. And she said, I saw this on Jocelyn, Maine today.
Whoa.
Hey, was I not supposed to have this chest?
Yes, the angels were putting this all into place for you.
I get on Jocelyn, Maine. The first time I got on.
Was it expensive on Jocelyn, Maine?
It was reasonable.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Got on Jocelyn, Maine. I mean, this is years ago. Never gotten on. Didn't know how to use it. The timer elapsed. And now it's no longer for sale. Oh, my gosh. So my dear sweet friend said, Jocelyn, Maine and Wayfair, I'll call them. Wayfair actually did me a good one and got it for me at that price. Yay, Wayfair.
Oh, nice. Did you a solid.
But let me
good to be you, Mrs. Pratt.
Yeah, at that day. But let me tell you something. Here's this big, long story for this moment.
Waiting.
Once in a blue moon. Now, I'm not talking about like once a month or maybe even once a year.
Yeah, when does a blue moon come? It's not
blue
once a month,
moon are
it?
2 full moons in 1 month.
Well, and that's rare.
Yes. So once in a blue moon, if there is something that is that earth shaking decor wise in your life, you just should bite the bullet and do it. I would have spent 3 times what the designer wanted for it if I knew how much.
I'm cheering you on.
Oh my. And I know that's a long story. And that doesn't mean I'm giving you
felt that story.
but I'm not giving you permission to think everything as a statement like that.
No, but I want to make a point. I want to bring out a point that you made here.
Yes.
To have a statement piece in a room, you are probably going to have to spend more than you would on the plain vanilla piece. So, I think that's something to think about. Statement pieces tend to be more expensive, but the thing is, your piece compared to just a regular chest, no comparison.
So and if there was a fire in my house and I could take out 5 things, I take out like my Bible, my jewelry, my photographs, and my curlicue chest.
Well,
seriously. Well, I'm not counting people.
Did you mention Bobby?
I'm not counting people or pets. But, I think that there is a time now. We don't want you to use your children's college tuition money you're saving,
right.
or your, or your mortgage.
Right.
But it's worth maybe say, hey, can I put this back? Can I make payments on this? But you have to make sure that you so love this. This is something you'll be able to live with. And I don't have that. I've never had that moment a lot. So it was a very big lesson for me.
Right. But I think that's a good point. And sometimes maybe it's a room, there's just an amazing chest. You kind of wanted 2 chests, but there's this amazing one, and maybe it's the same price as 2 simpler chests. Mm-hmm. But if you buy the one, you've got this wow piece, and maybe you just need the one. So sometimes there's a way to work it into the budget and I think it's worth it too.
No, this was not going to work in our budget.
No, but I'm just saying maybe you could save money somewhere else. So you say, I'm spending the extra money on this particular chest or this particular chair, and I'm going to not. I'm going to
forgo buying that sofa for another year. So.
Yeah, I'm going to hold off buying this, or I'm going to put a little less furniture in the room than the original plan.
Right.
And often this will get you a better. And that's another reason why I like to have kind of a long-term plan for a room. And then these pieces that you really want, you get them, but you can't buy them all at once. You just kind of, when you have your money saved, then you go get it. And then you start saving up for the next thing.
That is such a realistic, everyday woman who loves to decorate story. That's my
story.
Such a
real woman.
It took me 6 years to decorate my living room.
Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you. Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor, and I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants. Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. You know, we're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order.
My bedroom, the one I was just talking about, I'm making some changes to it, and I put it on my blog today, or this is going to be out a little bit later. I've been working on this room for 9 years, and I'm going to put a link to it in the show notes so you can see what it looked like when I started. We were just thrilled to have a place to sleep in the room. I mean, they're mattresses on Hollywood frames with a quilt thrown over it. That's the way the room started.
And that is real life.
Yeah, it was.
That is real life.
Yeah, so 9 years, and I'm still working on it. Yeah,
and you'll never be done. But 9 years to get to this beautiful point, because it's an evolution, and I agree with that. I would
and it's
say
curated look. We love that.
Right, buy one really special piece a year, maybe, and in 5 years you'll have 5 really fabulous pieces. Right. So if you did it for different rooms, you'd have 5 different fabulous pieces for 5 different rooms.
Well, and the thing I want to add to this too is there's been times when I've said, I'm going to save money. There's 2 things I'm going to buy them. But sometimes it's just a little bit less. It's not a big difference. But I'm just like, no, if I go this cheaper, then I can afford this other stuff. And I've almost always been sorry.
And, we're not saying to spend all your money, because once in a while I've come out hugging my package and doing the happy dance situation because I got such a bargain and I love it. Right. Mm-hmm. But we're just saying that, statement pieces, you just have to know, first of all, that they're special and that they're going to last a long, long time in the room that you put them in, and that you're going to be happy with them. And they may just be a little more. But back to my curlicue chest, can I just finish this? My curlicue chest looked great, but then you have to put something over it.
Right.
And man,
do you have any money left for that?
Well, I put so many things over it until I found this great big clock from Ballard Design. And I've had mirrors over it. I've had pictures over it. I've had dishes over it. But when that went over, it was like that finished it.
Well, okay. So the thing I wanted to mention here is sometimes we do buy, I've made so many mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes I've made in these statement pieces is saying, that's too much. I'm going to buy the cheaper version.
Oh, I know.
And then I don't like it. And then I buy another cheap thing to replace it because I didn't like that. And at the end of the day, if I just bought the more expensive piece, I would have been happy with it for 20 years versus replacing it 3 times. So sometimes it's actually the cheaper way to go long term. But anyway, don't buy stuff you can't afford. At the end of the day, I agree with that.
Don't buy stuff that you can't pay your mortgage. Here's the other thing I want to talk about. A statement piece, like in my family room, my statement piece is my fireplace. And it comes with the house.
Comes with the house.
Absolutely. Now, that fire, and we were very blessed to have a very good carpenter, and he did a beautiful job on the fireplace. When we built this, now remember this was 24 years ago, I put in green marble all around my fireplace and for the little step all around the hearth. And, that got tired real quick. So what do you do? Because you've got this really beautiful focal point, and I have built-in cabinets on the other side, and we had to like rework some of them because the molding looked a little dated. So I got brick veneers in a neutral color, and had all that marble bricked in very inexpensively.
Wow, good idea. And because a fireplace is a focal point in so many people's living rooms or family rooms.
And you don't know how many people email me and have that question, like, I have this surround, I don't like it. Now we don't have a real fire box, I think it's called, like the flue and everything. We have a a gas fireplace. So we don't have, I wanted it open, but it can't be open. So we had that real shiny brass all around it.
Yes.
I took all of those brass pieces off and spray painted them black with like a high flame retardant spray and put them on. So really what I did for under $400 was totally update that fireplace.
And you gave yourself a beautiful statement piece for your room.
Yes. That will, until I don't like the brick anymore, and we'll knock that off and veneer something else up there.
Wow. Well done. I didn't realize how you'd done that. And then balance the universe with the expensive curly Q cabinet. Right? That's how I always think of something. Well, if I get that, but then I can get that for that, then it's all even.
I'm a little more cheap than you. I'm going like, yes, I got it for that. So I think that if you have something built in, you really have to, that's got to be a focal point, like a fireplace.
We should do a whole episode on changing up your fireplace because I think that's a really big item that people struggle with. I have a client I'm working with now, and she's like, oh, I just hate it, but what do you do? And like you're saying, all the marbles in there, or it just the mantle is just this thin little piece of wood, like, and she wants it to be a real statement. And there are easy ways to do it.
Fixes.
Do that. Shall we put that on the list?
You could just add a whole nother. Have somebody come in if you don't want to do it yourself, a beautiful milled board that has nice edges. Slap it right on top of the one you have for a wider mantle. And we have sort of
I think she's doing it right now, Anita.
a love-hate with, do you put a mirror up there or not? Like, I think it depends on how tall. My mantle's very tall, but I'm willing to live with it like that because I think it's okay. So I think.
And if you're trying to make a statement and maybe you're in a rental or you're in a transitional place, you can make a statement with something as simple as a big plant.
Oh, definitely.
The plant will add so much. And then if you get a nice basket, there's so many nice baskets out in the world. Either you could even try to thrift one, a nice big basket. Just make sure that you give your plant some love and put it in a bigger pot than the one that it comes in because all its roots are squashed in there. So get it some nice soil and then put it in a bigger pot and put it in this nice chunky basket that you've purchased. And wow, that can change a room dramatically.
Our resident green thumb lady.
Yeah. And it's in a really, to get a nice plant, if you win the Bear Color Trends 2018 Home Depot $50 gift card, you could probably get 2 nice size plants at Home Depot that you could put maybe.
You're talking about statement plants.
Statement plants. You could even but what I sometimes like to do is those palms that sometimes they'll have there for. Sometimes they're on sale for as low as like $12.95.
Those large ones?
The large one, but they're about, like I'm, what am I, 5, almost
tiny.
4 on my driver's license, but in real life I'm 5, 3.5. So they probably come up to sort of my chest height. So maybe 4 feet tall.
For that price, that's amazing.
Right. But what I like to do is I put 2 of them. So I get a big plastic container, and you can get those for like $10, but get a big one with some drainage, and then you get your potting soil, and then you put the 2 of those inexpensive palms in one container together. It makes it look a lot lusher.
Yeah,
and
great idea.
Also, if you have them in a big basket, sometimes when you just have the one, there's like all that space around it.
Right.
The basket is open, and then you just see the little, stem coming out, the little trunk coming out.
It looks a little weird.
Yeah. So I would suggest doubling it up. I've even on one occasion tripled it up. And it looks pretty fabulous. Really nice and lush, and it'll come over your basket beautifully. So that's
great idea.
So you're talking for like
that is a good idea.
Maybe $100 if you include basket, soil, container pot, and 2 or 3 of the palms.
And listen, you'd still have $50 left then to spend it on something else.
It's
if you win the
it's $50 total.
50. Hey, let's talk about this.
We'll do math later.
Okay.
Maybe
You have
we
to
should have an episode on math.
Okay. Hey, listen, I'm a decorator and I can measure.
I think we all just made $50. I don't know what happened.
I think also if you can, I love big, oversized mirrors.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they can be fabulous statement pieces.
What about leaning against the wall?
I was just going to say that.
I love that.
I love that.
And it's so much easier, but you can, attach it to the wall if you've got kids or pets.
But you have to really pick the right mirror for the right room. I think if you want, I think you can go overboard if you buy a big gilded mirror and just have very little. You don't want a lot of furniture in your room because that would look, that would be too busy. But if you have more, if you don't have an awful lot of furniture in your room, a big mirror is so pretty.
Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add Dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health. Potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT.
And here's another reason to lean it against the wall where the top is leaned back from the bottom is you look thinner that way. Did you know that?
Well, hey, that's the #1 reason to do it. Then.
I know. I love that.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. It's like a fun house.
It is. It is.
I never understood how those mirrors worked, but again, that's for another day. I think all of these things are such good ideas. And, when you say statement, really, as we said at the beginning, don't just think it has to be something sort of loud or something in a completely different color or something that just jumps out and takes all the attention. It can be a lot of different things. Like we said, like Anita said, it could be the full room, just doing it really well. It can be a big statement piece. It could be a plant. It could be just treating a piece of furniture or an accessory in a way that's unexpected.
Yeah.
Like painting it. So a real pop of color or something.
Yeah, you could do that.
I'm going to do that in my bedroom because right now, actually, I'm sitting in my bedroom as we're podcasting and I have painters here and they just got done painting my bedroom and my upstairs sitting room and it looks so beautiful and bright and
we can't wait to see it.
Yes, but I'm looking for my statement piece for the bedroom is going to be a big old armoire, and I want to paint it a beautiful charcoal.
Oh, that'll be beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know most people would go, hey, that's not a pop of color. But, I'm that neutral girl. For me, that's a little.
No, but a large
add
piece like that in any color would be, and especially a dark color like that would be pretty dramatic.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly the word I was going to use. It's going to add some drama to the room, which I love.
Yeah. So keep your drama in your furnishings and accessories, not in your, not in your interpersonal relationships.
Life. Yeah. Right.
Drama-free zone.
Mm-hmm. Please. And I think we are all pretty much drama-free girls, but we love drama in our decor.
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Well said. This has been so fun. And now I feel like I'm going to go around and check my room and make sure they all have a statement that they're all making.
Anita, I'm going to go kiss my curly Q chest.
Go kiss your chest. And you can go take pictures of each room, and you can kind of figure out from your pictures. You'll know what the statement is in each room. You'll see
point.
If it kind of looks exciting or if it looks a little flat. You'll get that from the pictures. Yep. And thanks so much for hanging out with us. Remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Hey everybody, we want to thank you so much for listening to Decorating Tips and Tricks. And we want to make it even easier for you to listen. And it's easier if you subscribe. You just click the subscribe button on our website, www.decoratingtipsandtricks.com, or you can subscribe through Apple Podcast or any of your favorite podcast listeners. When you subscribe, DTT comes free right to you 3 days a week. So until next time.